It's amazing to me that this president would introduce the word felon into the discourse. This is a president who wallowed in Chicago in the murky soup of politics/felons, a region where the politicians quite often end up as felons in jail.
Boom. The presidential campaign is taking a nasty turn with both sides ratcheting up the rhetoric to discredit the opposition ahead of the conventions and debates. So is one side getting the upper hand right now? Let's break it down with Republican strategist Brad Dayspring, senior advisor to the Young Gun Action Fund, and former spokesman for House Majority Leader Eric Cantor, and Doug Thornell, Democratic strategist with SKD Knickerbocker and former National Press Secretary to the DCCC. Gentlemen, welcome both.
Good to be here.
Doug,
yeah.
Introducing the idea of Mitt Romney as a felon, fair or foul from the Obama campaign?
Well, he's clearly either misled the government with the forms he signed or the voters, and he has not shot straight on when he left Bain. Clearly, he was there as CEO, as chairman of the board for 3 years after he said he was, and that makes him responsible for a lot of the bad business practices, including outsourcing, that occurred when he was there.
Brad?
Americans are getting a close-up look to what Chicago-style politics looks like. Look, everyone knows where Mitt Romney was in 1999. He was turning around the Olympics, an Olympics that the United States won 34 medals at. He was there in 1999, he was there in 2000, he was there in 2001. That's without question.
Well, here's the thing I don't get. If you're the CEO of a company, how can you say you're not aware of what's going on inside of the company? I don't think the voters buy that.
Is there too much of a disconnect there, Brad? That folks are saying, look, he's got his name attached. There's a lot of tons of money. Much of it was his tied up in these companies.
I think the American people know he turned around the Olympics. And I think once Mitt Romney starts talking about his experience at the Olympics, how he saved the Olympic Games for this country, I think it'll be very clear where he was. There are people who knew he was running the Olympics. There are people at Bain who knew he wasn't there. So this is just a wild goose chase that Democrats are perpetuating.
How do you switch the narrative, though? Do you have a VP nominee, or do you talk about the Olympics? How do you switch the narrative?
Well, I think it's going to be really tough for him. He's going to have to he's going to have to be transparent and be honest with the American people on when exactly did he lose, when did he exactly leave Bain, and for those 3 years when he was CEO, what sort of decision-making process, what decision-making did he have going on there? And he has not. And he has not been honest with his taxes either. 2 years of tax reform, tax papers when he gave 23 years to John McCain. The American people deserve as much as John McCain did.
I agree with you, Doug. He does have to be honest, and he has been honest. There is no question about where he was in 1999 or 2000. And we're seeing that these attacks, though they're taking up a lot of fodder on shows like this one and among your Democratic colleague friends, they're not working. ABC Washington Post came out with a poll yesterday that showed this 50% of Americans don't consider this a major factor in their vote.
Brad, you have George Will, Bill Kristol saying you should release 6, 8, 10 years.
You have the
NRCC
chairman, Pete Sessions, who believes this is fair game. You have a lot of Republicans who want Mitt Romney to be honest.
Doug, I agree. I'm not claiming it's not fair game. You can talk about it all you want. What I'm telling you is it's not working.
That's actually not true. I've sat in focus groups, and this issue is getting through there.
Money and politics, which is an issue near and dear to both of you guys' hearts. Harry Reid said this yesterday on the Senate floor, which I wanted to throw to you guys.
If this flood of outside money continues, the day after the election, 17 angry old white men will wake up and realize they've just bought the country. About 60% or more of these outside dollars are coming from these 17 people.
Brad, we also understand from a FEC Commission report that the YG Action Fund got a $5 million contribution from Sheldon and Miriam Adelson. Nice chunk of change for you guys there.
Congratulations.
What do you say to Harry Reid, 17 angry old white men that will wake up and realize they've just bought the country and Mitt Romney's elected president?
I think Harry Reid is confusing his Democratic caucus for some of the people donating in this campaign. 17 angry old white men sounds like his Democratic caucus in the Senate.
I'm not sure.
Look, the YG Action had a great quarter. We are prepared to go on offense and expand the Republican majority with young gun-style candidates. And, you know, we have an open process. We have open disclosure, and that's part of what makes this country great.
Well, what Harry Reid is talking about, the Senate Republicans blocked the Disclose Act. And the Disclose Act has a very simple principle. The American people deserve to know who's paying for these ads. And that's something that Brad's old boss, Eric Cantor, actually supported. He supported disclosure. Now Republicans have run away from that. And you're having a lot of these fly-by-night groups that pop up and run millions and millions of dollars worth of ads. And the American people don't know who's paying for it. And the Disclose Act says, look, If you have nothing to fear, you have nothing. If you have nothing to hide, you have nothing to fear. And I think that's a basic principle that voters support.
Doug, if we don't know who's giving the money, how did Luke just ask me?
Well, that's because it's going to a 527, not to the C4 group, which you guys also have, and that would not be disclosed, as are contributions to the Chamber of Commerce and a lot of other groups that are up. Those are not disclosed.
Look, this is settled law.
Do you think it works politically, though, for Harry Reid to go out there and say 17 angry white men? Does that resonate with the voter?
It doesn't resonate when he's looking pretty angry saying it.
Well, look, I mean, the overall point is, do we want to shine some light on the political process, or do we want to keep the American people in the dark? Now, I appreciate that your 527 disclosed that Sheldon Adelson gave you money, but C4s and a lot of these other groups that are influencing the election do not disclose, and you know that.
I think from top to bottom, conservatives support disclosure.
So why did you oppose the Disclose Act?
Full disclosure of everything. Now, full disclosure also comes with freedom of speech, and people can give as much as they want into the process as long as it's So are you willing to say the Democratic Party supports a system like in Virginia with unlimited contributions and complete open disclosure?
What I'm willing to say is it's not about suppressing freedom of speech. It's about disclosure of who's paying for the ads. And you guys blocked the Disclose Act, so you can't say you support transparency.
With all due respect, I'm asking you right now, I think we could find agreement. Are you willing to support a system like in Virginia where there's unlimited contributions but complete, open, immediate disclosure?
What I'm willing to support is a system where the American people know who's paying for the ads. And right now, the Republicans blocked it in the Senate, and you blocked it in the House last year.
I'm sure will continue on in the green room afterwards. Brad Dayspring, Doug Thornell, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you.